Hello guys, if you're new here, my name is John Mungai and I talk about finance, investing and building wealth in Kenya. Now, today I'm going to talk about a very important topic, and the topic is the stock market, investing in the stock market. So, you are there wanting to grow your money, wondering how do I grow my money? I've saved up, I've been working very hard, and now I want to put my money somewhere that will make it grow more and more. Now, the question that you are most likely asking yourself is the Kenyan stock market worth of investing? Is it worth it to invest in the Kenyan stock market? That's a very, very wise question to ask, by the way. So, by the end of this video, I hope I will answer your question. So stick around. Don't forget to like this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you are informed whenever we make a new video. With so many investment options like SACCOs, like MMFs, like bonds, infrastructure bonds or treasury bonds and bills, like online businesses, like even building your own businesses. Are stocks the right platform to grow your wealth? Well, stick around. As I said, we are going to talk about the advantages, the risks. Of course, everything has a risk and also a benefit, and also how to walk your way around some of these risks to be able to invest wisely and make good use of your money. For those of you who are new, the Nairobi Securities Exchange is Kenya's official stock market where investors are able to buy and sell shares of the publicly listed companies like Safaricom, Equity Bank, KCB, and so on and so. There are many companies that are listed in the NSE where you as an individual can go and buy those shares and also sell those shares if you want to. It is one of the most established stock exchanges in Africa and offers many different ways of investing, including individual stocks. You can invest in individual stocks. Number two, you can invest in ETFs. Also, investing in REITs or real estate investment trusts, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things to unpack about the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So why should you invest in the Nairobi Securities Exchange? I will give you not more than 3 main reasons. Number one, dividends. For those of you who've never invested, investing in listed companies in the Nairobi Securities Exchange offers you an opportunity to earn money, sometimes monthly, annually, semi-annually, depending on how that company gives out its dividends. So this gives you an opportunity to earn dividends while just holding their stocks. That is a good reason to start investing in the NSE. Number two, undervalued stocks. So what do I mean by undervalued stocks? I mean, and this is a good time to explain what I'm trying to tell you, because this is the economy right now is in a place where I can explain to it easily. So whenever the economy is unstable or is down, and of course we know what's happening globally, there's tariff wars all over. Of course the economy right now in Kenya is not that well off. So meaning businesses are not doing so great. Now for the business owners, that is not a good thing. That's not good news. But for investors, that is good news. Do you know why? Because when businesses or the economy is not doing so good, it means the stock prices are down. Here goes now your card, how you play your card as an investor. You go and look for companies which were performing way better in the future, or in the past, sorry. Look for companies which were performing good in the past and have a good track record, but because of the economic turmoil, their stocks have gone down. So meaning that their stocks have been undervalued. Go and buy as much as possible of those stocks. Of course, you are expecting, you are hoping that the economy will go back to where it was and will become stable, which means that even those companies which are struggling or the stock prices which are low will once again come back. So this is a long-term game. When you're investing in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, when you're investing in stocks in general, this is a long-term game. Now, that's another reason why you should invest in Nairobi Securities Exchange, especially right now in 2025. With everything that is happening, you might see as if things are worse. Of course, things are not good, but in every chaos, there is some light. So use this opportunity. Go and buy yourself some stocks. And the third reason that you should use or you should invest in the Nairobi Stocks Exchange is the long-term growth. Now, I don't have to mention how many billionaires have become rich due to the power of compound interest. This is the same way with stocks. What happens is, of course, you have to be wise enough to invest in companies that have a future. Because if you invest in companies that do not have a future, then most likely your investment will go to waste. But if you know what you're doing, you use the relevant resources, you consult, you use your brain, that is. You invest in companies that have good and strong financials, that have good management, that have a good track record, which means that their future seems to be good and stable. When you do that, and you leave your money or your stocks there, no matter now what happens, whether the economy is good or bad, you just leave your money there. Time goes on and so on and so on until the time where it will be maybe 10 years, 20 years. By that time, you will retire. You'll have retired, but your money will have compounded, and it will have grown exponentially, and you will enjoy the fruits of your labor. So those are 3 key reasons that you should invest in the Nairobi Stocks Exchange. Of course, now, with any kind of investments, there are a risk. All investments have risks. So, NSE is also has its own risks. Now, one of the risks, and I believe I've mentioned them, is the market fluctuations, which means that when the economy is not doing good, the prices of the stocks are going to go low. So, your money will be low also. But this is where now I said you have to play the long-term game. You are not there to just invest in a year or two to get your money. You are there to invest in like 10 years, a maximum or minimum of 10 years plus. And your money will pay you back and will work for you very nicely. So that is one risk that you must take, of course, as an investor. That no matter what happens, no matter how the economy looks, that money, however small it goes, however low the prices drop, that money, you will not remove it. That is one risk. Number 2, the second risk is bad management. Now, or companies, bad company management. Now, this is where I also said earlier, you have to go and make sure you do your research when investing. Especially if you're going to invest in a company and give them a lot of your money, make sure you know the track record of that company. Make sure you know the finances, the balance sheets. How is the company doing? And also the management, the leaders. How are the leaders doing? Who are these leaders and what have they done? Things like that can make or break you as an investor. So, companies, of course, can do bad, by the way. Companies can go bankrupt. Companies can just be closed there and then. And so, that is a very likely risk if you don't do your due diligence in researching the company you invest in. Yes. Another thing that will be a risk for you, or maybe you might not like, is the liquidity. Now, unlike other forms of investments, once you invest in a stock, it is very hard to sell. So it is going to be difficult to get your money back. That's another risk that you have to, cope and live with. So if you know that you want to use that money, or the money you want to invest in, you are going to use it very soon, I would advise you not to invest it in the stock market. But if you know that that money can stay there as long as possible, then go ahead and invest in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Of course, looking for companies that are growing, that are good, that are stable, and that have a good longevity, if I can say so. Now that we know what the Nairobi Securities Exchange is, how you're going to make money from the Nairobi Securities Exchange, the risk that you're going to take, let's get to know how do you do the investing exactly. Number one, and this is very simple, you open a CDS account. This is like a bank account for stocks, of course. And these accounts can be opened through brokers. There are a few brokerages here in Kenya. You can do your research. I won't mention them. But for those of you who really don't know how to research, you can begin with banks. There are many banks that offer these services of the stock brokerage services. And just normal commercial banks. The KCB, Equity, Stanbic, and so on and so forth. I'm sure they offer brokerage services. So the first thing that you have to do is go and open a CDS account there. After that, number two, you go and do your research and look for stocks to buy. Look for the companies that are listed officially in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Companies that are doing good, of course, depending on whether what you want. Do you want dividends annually? Do you want dividends semi-annually? Do you want dividend monthly? Go and look for companies that offer what you want. So you have to do your due diligence. Like Safaricom, go look like at KCB, Equity. Look at how they pay their dividends. Do your research. Ask around. Yes, nobody's going to ask you for doing your research or asking. Yes. And the third thing that you have to do is start with as little as you have. You don't need to be rich to start investing. You can start with as little as 5,000 Kenya shillings and you will be on your way to become an investor. So don't think that you need a lot of money to start investing. No. 5,000 Kenya shillings and that's it, and you're good. And last but not least, you have to be patient. You have to be patient, my friend. Otherwise, this is not a good way for you. You might not make it. If you're not a patient person, then investing in stocks is not your go-to thing. Go and look for other things. Yes. So those are 4 things that you will need. A CDS account. This one you can get at any bank, any commercial bank or other brokerage, private brokerage companies. Number 2, go and select the stocks that you want depending on what you want, depending on how they pay their dividends and so on and so forth, how strong they are, how financially stable they are. Things like that are things to pay attention to. Number 3, start with as little as you can, or the little that you have. That is what you should start with. Number 4, be patient. Those 4 things. With those 4 things, you can begin your investment journey right now. If you want a detailed video on how to open your CDS account and buy your first stock, please comment down in the comment section and let me know. So my friends, is the Kenyan stock market good to invest in the year 2025? And my answer is yes, provided you invest wisely. That is my answer. With everything, there are risks. With any investment, there are risks to it. So if you invest wisely, provided you look at the companies that are listed in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you look at stable stocks, you look at their financials, you look at their numbers, how they pay the dividends, how the management works. Provided you pay attention to those key things, you are good to go. And you are wise enough to select companies that are good and that are well off. It is a worthy investment choice.